I'm Antoinette and welcome back to my channel. At Frolic and Courage, I like to help you plan well, have fun, and travel the world. My husband and I just got back from a trip to Dublin, Ireland last month. So in this video, I'm answering the question, is Dublin easy to get around? And I'm gonna share how to get around Dublin on a budget. We'll talk about how Dublin is laid out, the different public transportation methods available, how to get from the Dublin airport to the city center of Dublin, how to get around Dublin from ticket prices, costs, and what you need to know, and so much more. Let's jump right in. Dublin is the capital and largest city in the Republic of Ireland, located on the east coast of the country. There are 11 neighborhoods in Dublin. The River Liffey flows through the center of Dublin, dividing it in two parts. Is Dublin easy to get around? Yes, it is incredibly easy to get around Dublin. Most of the major attractions in Dublin are sandwiched around the city center, like the Dublin Castle, Temple Bar, St. Patrick's Cathedral, the Guinness Storehouse, and Trinity College and the Book of Kells, and so much more. Compared to other major European cities, Dublin is relatively small, but at the same time, it houses more than 25% of the entire country's population. Despite the large population in a small area, Dublin is still easy to get around. As you're navigating the city, you're gonna notice a couple of different methods of public transportation. So I'm gonna share these names and acronyms with you now. There is the Transport for Ireland, or TFI, which oversees the delivery of public transport services across Ireland, which includes all the services I'm gonna mention. You'll see TFI all throughout the city, so pay attention. The Dublin Bus operates 136 routes in the greater Dublin area. All buses are low-floor, wheelchair accessible, and Wi-Fi enabled. The Nightlink bus runs 12 routes every Friday and Saturday from around midnight to around 3 to 4 in the morning. Routes all have an N after the bus number. And there are 10 Nightlink buses that run 24 hours a day, including these routes that I'll put on one of the sides of the screen. Go Ahead Ireland operates bus lines in the suburbs of Dublin, as well as some routes to Kildare. Luas is Dublin's tram service that runs all throughout the city. Dart is a train rail line that runs regularly from Malahide, Howth in North Dublin southwards to the city centre as far as Greystones, County Wicklow. Iarn Road Éireann Irish Rail is Ireland's national train operator, running city and commuter rail services in Dublin and Cork, as well as intercity services throughout Ireland. Bus Éireann is Ireland's national bus operator, running through cities and towns throughout Ireland. And as we're going throughout this video, don't worry about writing things down like frantically. I'll put my blog link in the description box below that will include all the links. Now you know how Dublin is laid out and the transportation methods that are around town. Let's talk about how to get around Dublin on a budget. The first way to get around Dublin on a budget is to walk. And is Dublin easy to get around by walking? Absolutely so, yes. Dublin is incredibly pedestrian friendly and relatively flat, with certain streets closed for pedestrian traffic only. The city center has narrow lanes and plenty of pedestrian zones, which makes driving and parking a car difficult. Plus, renting and owning a car in Ireland can be rather expensive, so walking is an excellent and free way to get around Dublin on a budget. Honestly, if you're only staying in Dublin, grab your walking shoes, grab a coat, and enjoy the scenery. You won't be alone. There's a lot of people walking in the city center. And it's a great way to check out these little shops that you wouldn't otherwise see if you're in a car or a bus. So tell me, how do you feel about walking? I personally like it, as you all know, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. Do you enjoy walking when you're visiting a new city? Let me know in the comments down below if you're a walker or not. But outside of walking, you can also take public transportation to get around Dublin on a budget. The Dublin Bus generally runs every day from about 6 a.m. to 11:30 p.m., about every 15 minutes. And again, I mentioned before, there's that Nightlink bus. You can also take the Luas tram, which operates 2 lines within Dublin, the Red Line and the Green Line. I'll also link a map of the Luas right in the description box below or in my blog. The Luas runs Monday through Friday from about 5:30 a.m. to midnight 30, as I like to say, 12:30 a.m. midnight, and Saturdays from 6:30 a.m. to 12:30 a.m., Sundays and public holidays from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. The prices of the Luas are the same as the Dublin Bus. Each ride costs about €1.30 for a short fare, which is 2 to 3 kilometers or less, €2 for a long fare, or €2.40 for an express fare. You can pay with cash on the bus, but euro coins only, people. Exact change only. The drivers do not accept euro notes and do not give change. Make sure you have enough change in your pocket and tell your driver the destination, and they will communicate how much that trip will cost. If you have older kids from 6 to 18 years old, they have to have their own tickets and passes. But in Dublin, there's a lot of half-price discounts for young adults and students ages 19 to 25, and for children 5 to 18 years are only a mere 65 cents. It's crazy affordable. And kids under 5 are free with a fare-paying adult. If you'd rather not carry like a whole pocket full of change the whole day, you can purchase what's known as a TFI Leap card, which is a reloadable public transport fare card that can be used to travel all around Dublin on all TFI public transport services, including the Dublin Bus, Go Ahead Ireland, the Luas, the Dart, the commuter rail within the Dublin area, the short hop zone, in addition to all commuter and rural services operated by Bus Éireann, the TFI Local Link, so many services in Dublin, and even on select commercial bus operators. With this card, you can save 30% from the cash fares. There are 2 versions of the Leap card, the regular Leap card and the Leap Visitors card, and we'll talk about both of them. If you're just getting a Leap card, you can add money to your card and pay as you go, or you can buy a pass. The young adult fares, as I mentioned before, if you're between the ages of 19 and 25 years old, are typically half price the regular adult fare. For a trip, there is the TFI 90-minute fare, which offers reduced price fares if your entire trip, including transfers, is within a 90-minute window from the first entry. That price is €2 for an adult, €1 for a young adult, and 65 cents for a child. So affordable for one trip. If you're taking the bus, be sure to validate your card on the entry and validate on entry and exit if you're taking the Dart, the train, or a Luas tram journey. There are also daily price caps and weekly price caps with your Luas card, starting every week from 4:30 a.m. Monday to the following Monday at 4:29 a.m. If you're taking either the bus or the tram, it is only €5.60 for an adult as the price cap for the day, €2.80 for students, and €2.10 for a child daily, and €22, €11, and €6.80 for the weekly cap. Now, if you're gonna take multiple forms of transportation, like the bus and the Luas, or the rail and the Dart, or the Luas and the rail, it's €8 for an adult, €4 for a young adult, €2.80 for a child for daily, and €32, €16, and €11.20 weekly. These price caps are not valid for the Nightlink, for any tours like the Big Bus tours or Go Ahead Ireland commuter services. There's also a 5-day Rambler Pass for unlimited travel for adults for about €26. The Leap Visitor Pass gets you unlimited travel on the Dublin Bus, the Go Ahead Ireland, the Luas, the Dart, and commuter rail in the Dublin area. There are 3 passes you can get based on the length of time you want the pass. There's a 24-hour pass for €8, a 72-hour pass for €16, and a 7-day pass for €32. You can pay your fares with a Visitor Leap card without carrying around all that change simply by touching your card against the card reader. On the Dublin Bus and Go Ahead Ireland, touch your card on the right side as you enter. On the Luas, touch on before and after you get on and off. And on the Dart commuter rail, touch on before your journey and once you get off. And this applies with the short hop zone as well. So where do you buy these Leap cards exactly? You can purchase Leap cards online or at one of the Leap card agents by using a map of where to find them, and some places may run out of cards, so be careful. You can purchase them at the Dublin airport. After you get through airport security in Terminal 1, WH Smith convenience store is located by Ryanair check-in and Boot Supply Beauty from about 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. If you're coming from Terminal 2, after you get through security, the Spar convenience stores are located near the flight info screens, and it's available from around 6 a.m. to outside of those hours. You can also purchase Leap cards in Dublin City Centre through a number of different locations, from the Dublin bus stop to O'Connell Street to news agents, different Spar convenience stores around town, and even in the Trinity College area. All these locations that I'm gonna list right here. You can also order your Leap cards online at least 14 days before your trip to have it mailed to your home in the US even before you leave. It's really convenient. Once you receive the card, it's not valid until you actually use it in Dublin. And you can get the card mailed to you sooner if you live in Ireland, the UK, or in Europe. But the rest of the world, like the US, it'll take about 14 days, so definitely plan in advance. You can purchase or top up your balance online from Irish Rail and Luas Ticket ticket machines, at Leap agents, online, through the app, and at post offices. If you don't pay your fares, y'all, there is a €100 fine. So make sure you pay the €2 or the 65 cents for the babies to ride. It's so affordable. The third way you can get around Dublin on a budget is with Now Dublin Bikes. It's a bike share riding program for those who are age 14 years or older. The bikes are available from 5 a.m. to 12:30 a.m. every day, and you can turn those bikes in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And make sure you use the map to determine where the bikes are available in Dublin. The first 30 minutes of every ride is free, and you can use your Leap card to pay for fares. The cost of Now Dublin Bikes is about €35 for an entire year in annual subscription, or if you just want to ride the bike for 1 day, it's €3.50, or for 3 days, it's €5. You can purchase your passes online and be sure to download the app so you can use while you're in the city. It's super fast, you just scan the codes, jump on the bike, and go about your business. Like I mentioned before, getting around Dublin is super easy, and you can also get around by using a taxi. Taxis generally vary in cost based on the time of the week and the day and traffic. Generally speaking, if you're traveling Monday through Saturday, taxi fares start at €3.80 for a maximum of €4.20 for an initial charge, and about €1.14 to about €1.80 per kilometer. Prices increase based on distance and time. There's also a premium rate at night between 8 p.m. and 8 a.m. Monday through Saturdays, all-day Sundays, and public holidays with up to a €4.80 initial charge or €2 per kilometer thereafter. Extra charges may apply for additional passengers. Overall, taxis are one of the most expensive ways to get around Dublin, other than renting a car, of course. And a single ride within the city can cost between €8 and €15. You can consult the taxi fare estimator to see how much your specific trip may cost, but again, it's an estimator, but it may help you to determine your budget when you're visiting Dublin. Taxis accept cash and credit cards, and always ask the driver which one they accept before jumping in. I think legally they have to accept both, but it always helps to ask. Another question you might have is there Uber in Dublin? And yes, there is Uber in Dublin, but it's just like in Athens, Greece. The Uber will only connect you with official taxis, not individual drivers with their own car. Even more popular than Uber, I recommend using the Free Now app to order taxi rides. You can download it before your trip, and it works just like Uber, except for it summons taxis. There were so many Free Now taxi little signs that I saw while walking around Dublin that you definitely want to download that Free Now app to hail a taxi. Those are a few ways of how to get around Dublin on a budget, but how do you get from the Dublin airport to the city center of Dublin? There are many ways to get to and from the Dublin airport. You can take an express coach bus, a regular bus, or a taxi. Each transportation method is located in a particular zone at the airport, and I'll show you a map. And the airport is about 9 miles or about 30 to 45 minutes from the airport, so let's jump right into it. The first way you can get to and from the Dublin airport to the city center is through a coach service. There are a few coach bus services that will take you from the airport to the city center of Dublin and beyond, starting from around €5 to €25 per adult, with discounts for children and students. Air Coach and Dublin Express are the two main operators. These buses make about 10 or so stops to the city center and back to the airport. They are comfortable, they can fit larger pieces of luggage, and they are incredibly convenient. I personally took the Dublin Express bus. The Dublin Express is a privately owned coach bus that will quickly whisk you from both airport terminals T1 and T2 to 16 different stops in the city center and even out to Belfast. All the buses have air conditioning, free Wi-Fi, and allow up to 2 40-pound bags to store and 1 carry-on to bring on board. Dublin Express buses 782, 783, and 784 run between the airport terminals T1 and 2 and the city centers. Located in Zone 21 of the airport, the bus runs every about 10 to 15 minutes, and the total trip to the city center takes around 35 minutes. Buses even make return trips from the city center back to the airport in around 45 minutes. The cost to ride the Dublin Express for adults ages 16 to plus is about €8 per person one way and around €10 per person round trip, which is really affordable. Infants between the ages of 0 and 2 years old are free when accompanied by an adult with a fare ticket. And if you have more than one child within that range, it requires a child's ticket. The children's ticket from ages 3 to 15 years old is about €2.50 one way and €3.50 round trip. And if you purchase those tickets the same day, the price increases by 50 cents. Not much, but something to note. Where do you buy Dublin Express tickets? You can purchase tickets in person from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Terminal 2 and from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. at Terminal 1. You can also purchase from the bus driver pending availability. Again, these are timed entry slots, so if you decide to show up at the last minute, there may or may not be availability. You can also purchase tickets online. Just pick a time slot and enter your starting and ending point at one of the stops. I use Google Maps to tell me what the closest stop was to my hotel. If you are purchasing your tickets online in advance for Dublin, your ticket is valid for your time slot and 12 hours before and 12 hours after your time slot to accommodate any sort of delays. So for example, if you purchase a 1 p.m. ticket, you can get on the bus as early as 1 a.m. earlier that morning or 1 a.m. the next day on standby. They accept Apple Pay, Google Pay, debit and credit cards online, but you cannot pay with cash on the bus because cash is not accepted. And what makes it really easy and convenient is that there are changes and cancellations accepted, as long as you make the change or cancellation no later than 24 hours before your time slot. And keep in mind, you've got that 12-hour window to and from your time slot to get on the bus. Once you purchase your tickets, you'll receive an email with a QR code, PDF file, or a digital card to use, like for say with Apple Wallet. There is no need for you to actually physically print your ticket. And so what did we do? We used the Plan Your Journey feature online and clicked the Hotels button on the website to find the nearest bus number and stop to our hotel. It was bus 782 Wellington Quay. And honestly, I said Quay all throughout my video, so please excuse me, it's actually Wellington Quay, not Wellington Quay. It cost us 10 euros per person, so about 20 euros round trip for both my hunt and I. It was really convenient. Here's exactly what our journey taking the Dublin Express from the airport to the city center looked like from Terminal 2. Check it out. From Terminal 2, if you want to take a coach bus to the city center, after immigration, follow the direction of the signs that point to buses past customs. Walk straight through to follow the signs. There is a timetable showing when the next bus will depart. Once you continue walking straight, you're gonna turn left or right depending on which bus you take. Since we took the Dublin Express bus, we turned left down the escalator stairs. Stop 21 is the Dublin Express, and it arrived on time. You can ask your driver which number the bus is because the numbers aren't necessarily displayed on the side of the buses.
Continuing signs go down the escalators to buses, and this is center stop 21 here. You'll see each of the zones listed on the sign right outside.
Our ticket stands here. We're gonna take the 782 to the Wellington Quay stop. But early in the morning, there's nobody here. The cool thing is there is a map with all of the central Dublin stops, and you can choose the best stop for your trip based off your hotel. For instance, we are staying at the Morrison Hotel. It tells you here that for the Morrison, it's stop 3, and stop 3 is Wellington Quay, bus 782. Really helpful. Right behind the Dublin Express, an alternative option would be to take the Air Coach bus, which is a similar bus service, and it's right behind the Dublin Express stop 21, so that is another alternate option you could take to get to the city center. Thanks, Ed. Okay. If you're arriving from Terminal 1, walk out the sliding glass doors and turn to the left. Then follow the blue Dublin Express signs. You can't miss it. Once on the bus, all your luggage is stored underneath, and there's a baggage allotment with your ticket. The bus driver will shout out loud which stop you're at, so don't fall asleep and don't miss it. The Dublin Express buses run from about 2 a.m. to about 12:30 a.m. or midnight 30, as I like to say, a little past midnight. It's great for that morning flight that dropped us off at around 4:30 a.m. Other than the coach buses to the city center, you can also take the regular Dublin bus. You can take bus number 16 to O'Connell Street in the city center of Dublin coming from Terminal 1, or bus number 41 from Terminal 1. There are a number of city center stops like Parnell Square, O'Connell Street, the Keys, Trinity College, Dame Street, Nassau Street, and St. Stephen's. Both the 16 and 41 buses operate from Zone 15 and are wheelchair accessible with onboard ramps. Bus 16 operates from about 6 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Monday through Saturday and from 8 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. on Sundays, while bus 41 runs 24/7 a day, including including weekends. Remember that these are city buses and may have limited capacity to carry luggage, but it is an affordable way to get from the Dublin airport to the city center in about 40 minutes, pending traffic, of course. It only costs €2 per adult. And like I mentioned before, if you're gonna take the Dublin bus, you must pay with exact change, coins only, or a Leap card. You can also take a taxi to get from the Dublin airport to the city center. It costs about 25 to 30 euros, and the price depends on traffic, the number of passengers, and the time of pickup. Taxis are easy to find and are located in Terminal 1, Zone 3, or Terminal 2, Zone 20. Here's where you find the taxis in Terminal 2.
For the taxis, all you have to do is from the terminals there. They're all lined up all throughout there. And of course you can see the line to get there is right over here. So you can easily get to the taxis from across the street. And here they all are.
I also want to share a few transportation tips with you for Dublin. I arrived in Terminal 2 after an Aer Lingus flight from the United States, but both terminals T1 and T2 have international flights, with Aer Lingus, Emirates, American, and United using Terminal 2. And everyone else, including Ryanair and British Airways, use Terminal 1. And what about renting a car? Do you need a car in Dublin as a tourist? Should I rent a car in Dublin? Car rentals are available with the most convenient options located at the airport. The minimum age to rent a car is 21 years old, but most rental companies require you to be older, like 23 to 25 years old, but yet younger than 75 if you want to drive without extra fees or restrictions. Insurance can be a nightmare to deal with, but if it's something you want to do to explore the country outside of Dublin, then go for it. If you only plan to stay in Dublin, I don't recommend renting a car. Dublin is a walkable city and parking is difficult, and you can walk to major sites and all around the city center in like 45 minutes or less. I didn't personally rent a car, but I'll link a really helpful guide from the Irish Road Trip blog that breaks down what you need to know before renting a car in Ireland. I highly recommend you check that out. Link is in the description box below. Another helpful tip is when you're traveling back to the United States, you will go through the United States Customs Border Patrol in Dublin. What this means is when you arrive back in the US from Dublin, you don't have to go through customs again. You just walk off and go to your car or however you're gonna get around, just like a normal domestic flight. This is great because it saves a lot of time and it's really convenient. But it also means that you will go through 2 security screenings, one for Ireland and the other for the United States. So be sure to allow extra time when you're returning to the airport, at least 2 to 3 hours before your flight. Global entry works on the US side of customs in Dublin. We have our global entry passes, so we just skip the line and went about our business to the lounge. Whether you choose to ride a coach bus, the Dublin bus, a taxi, rent a car, here's a helpful map of where to locate each transportation stop at the airport. Remember that each stop has a number attached to it, so make sure when you're navigating the airport, you look for those stop numbers. This video is by no means exhaustive, so if you know of great ways to get around Dublin on a budget, or want to share your experience navigating the city, whether you walked, took a bus, the tram, taxi, drove, train, please share your experience in the comments down below. You can watch us navigate the city, see the major sites, visit the Cliffs of Moher, and eat all the Irish food in my Dublin vlog after this video. But if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!